What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Rio. We're here at Comic-Con with Tom King, the writer of Batman. What's up, Tom?
Dude, I'm having a good time. Everything is great. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Thank you so much for coming.
But can I rudely interrupt you?
Sure.
IGN has been incredibly nice to my career and my books I've written, and I'm insanely grateful for everything you've done for me.
You're welcome,
So I can
man.
start off
Well,
by saying that.
you put out the good books. You know, you did the good stuff. It's not easy to get a good review on IGN, but you managed, man. We like your stuff a lot.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Oh, yeah,
I like
man.
it okay.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. All right.
Okay, now let's talk comics.
Oh,
Okay.
comics. I've heard of them.
So, Batman. You are the writer for Batman, along with artist David Finch, and you have another artist doing the next arc,
Mikhail Yanin.
and
also Ivan Reis is doing in between.
Yes, which is awesome lineup of artists to do Batman. And so with Rebirth, you pretty much got to start from, not from scratch, but start with your own story. How did you decide to do that, differentiate it from everything else that came before?
So, literally, Scott Snyder, who wrote Batman for some 5 years or so, and wrote the best run on Batman that's ever been run.
It's pretty good.
We're really good friends, and we were at some con. We had a bottle of scotch. They were passing back and forth. It was 3 in the morning, and we were challenging
Where's the
ourselves.
story going? Okay.
and then it got really nice. And then we were challenging ourselves to come up with a Batman story that hadn't been told before, and we couldn't do it. We're like, Gordon becomes Batman. It's like, no, I just did that. And the thing that eventually came to me was that Batman, usually the beginning arcs, finds a new villain or some new person who's super bad, and he has to defeat them. I was like, what if he begins with finding someone who's super good? What if he begins an arc finding someone who's as good as him, but doesn't have the vulnerabilities, both psychological and physical, that he does? Because that's what makes Batman great, is that he's vulnerable in a way that Superman and Wonder Woman aren't.
Yeah.
He's like us. He's as vulnerable as we are, but he has to live in that world of gods. And what if he starts to think of himself, maybe that's not right for me, maybe I can't do it, and that depression leads to a hope that'll thrust our story forward.
I think so. The theme in a lot of your work is just like utter depression that leads to something like beautiful you didn't expect. So no, that's great.
No. It's an actual challenge for me, because when I write a story, I start out dark and you know, if anyone's read Vision, it's like, you know, it's people staring at windows and contemplating the meaning of life.
Yes.
And I started with Batman that way, and I started to realize I don't really like that for Batman. To me, Batman's a hero. He's the hero of the story. Batman's the guy that when he gets knocked down, when he goes into those depressions, he gets back up and punches the guy in the face and says no. I mean, that's why I have an issue in 3 where, you know, someone's parents are being killed just like his parents. He pushes the guy to the wall and just says no. And because I need that in my life, and people who read comics, I think that they need that in their lives, where they need a hero of the story, and Batman is our hero.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, I love when you talk about Batman. Okay, so in the first issue, something crazy happens. A plane is going down. It's crashing over Gotham.
Yeah.
Which to me, I don't know, that may have been done before, but I've actually never seen that in a comic before. So that like had my heart beating really fast. It's like, how does Batman stop this? How does he save those people? Because Superman, he just goes and like catches it. Green Lantern, he just goes there and catches it like a baseball man. It's kind of funny, right? But Batman, he has to really do that. Can you take me through how you decided, you know, Batman, who's this guy just like you and me, well, probably more you than me, uses all his gadgets and just, you know, the limits of a human to stop a plane from crashing?
Well, I mean, the idea was, people always say, you know, Metropolis got the hero it deserved, and that was Superman, and Gotham always got the hero it deserved, and that was Batman. I was like, well, why is that? Why does Gotham deserve a Batman? And how does that make sense? Like does every asteroid that's going towards Earth make a right turn at Gotham and then go to does every plane that's crashed and be like, oh, can't crash here, we gotta go where they can save? Like, he must have to deal with those type of threats in his city.
Yeah.
And how does he do that as a man, as someone vulnerable? And also, I come from this sort of generation that was shaped by 9/11.
Yeah.
I joined the CIA after 9/11, a big impact on me. And I wanted to at least talk about like those fears and those anxieties are what Batman has to deal with. And having a plane that's crashing and having Batman save that plane, I thought it could sort of speak to that generation and what sort of frightens us today and what really lifts us up.
Very, very powerful imagery. Another thing is that, you know, you were as you mentioned, a CIA operations officer, correct?
That's so perfect. How do you know that?
I know things.
That's amazing.
And essentially, I don't know if you
Wait, you maybe know too many things.
Well, essentially what that means...
Am I about to be snowed in?
No.
Do I have to move to Moscow? Is this my moment? I gotta go over the balcony, guys. I'll be back.
He just jumps.
Yeah,
over.
he just
No.
jumps.
No.
I have a hidden parachute in here.
Yeah. So, what... in layman's terms, you were kind of like a spy, right?
I was a spy, yeah. Absolutely.
Which is really cool. So did any of that, you use anything from your profession to that's influencing how you're writing Batman?
Yeah, and every word I write is influenced by. I mean, obviously, I was entrusted with secrets, and I think they're sacred. And I write a book called Sheriff of Babylon, which is about Iraq, because my experience is there. And I get every issue approved from the CIA because I don't want to get anywhere close to the lines of revealing those secrets. But those themes of what I saw. The idea of a world more complicated than we think it is, and people trying to be heroes and failing, and people trying not to be heroes and even failing at that. All that stuff is in everything I write. And I think a writer has to do that. You have to call on your worst fears and your best times, or else you're just writing about sitting in your office typing at screens, and that doesn't really make for a great Batman story.
Yeah, sure. Also, at the end of DC Universe Rebirth #1, which was, the
Don't
special...
Don't spoil it for me, buddy. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow.
You know that already came out, right? No.
What?
That was written by Jeff Johns, who planted, and then also in his Justice League run, Justice League #50, planted this really weird, unexpected seed that there's 3 different Jokers. And I guess when Rebirth started with Batman, I thought it was going to pick up right there, but it's actually nowhere to be seen, really. Like, we've heard it, we know it's on his mind maybe in the background, but I don't actually know where we're going to see that story again. Can you offer us any insight of where that thread of the 3 different Jokers will be picked up?
Can I tell you something I'm not supposed to tell you? Does anyone watch this stuff?
I'm not sure if anyone is watching, but you can just between you and me.
Just between you and me? Okay. Issue 9 of Batman, the Rebirth story that it's going to be the backbone of the DCU, that amazing story that started there. You're going to start seeing some of it come out in issue 9.
Okay, say no more, because that was an awesome tease. All right, okay. So, but let's talk about the villain that is in the book. It was Hugo Strange. What made you choose him to be your first big Batman villain right out the gate?
2 things. I'm like a super nerd, and I wanted to pay tribute to Kanan Finger, who invented the thing. And Batman #1 is a Hugo Strange story. The original Batman #1 from 1940 is a Hugo Strange story. And so to go back, then I even stole a line that Hugo Strange used in Batman 1. It's in my Batman 1. Watch the clock, Batman. Or observe the clock, Batman. So I love that idea of making that connection. And #2, I love Hugo Strange as a villain because what makes Hugo Strange cool is he's a psychologist, right? And he thinks everyone in Gotham is insane except him. He's the one sane man in the city. That's his thing, right? But who's the hero of Gotham? Some crazy person. Some guy who runs around in a bat. If you're a psychologist and you see that, you say, I'm saying that guy's crazy. Why is he our savior? I want to be the savior. And that's an amazing motivation for it to be like, I should be Batman, not you. Yeah,
and we also got a twist with Psycho Pirate. What? I don't even know what to make of that. Can you tease anything of why? What is he doing there?
Well, let me brag a little bit about what Rebirth is and what it sort of stands for fans and for myself. At the end of Batman 2, you had in a room, you had Psycho Pirate, you had Amanda Waller, you had General Lane, and you had Hugo Strange. So what you have there is a Justice League villain, a Superman villain, a Batman villain, and a Suicide Squad member. So I mean, that's what Rebirth is. It's about a shared universe. It's about all these stories are connected to them all. These are stories that count. These are stories that matter. These are stories that have impact on each other's books. Because the people making these books, I was on the phone with Jeff Johns talking about Rebirth. Scott Snyder's on the phone with me every day. We want these characters to be as close as we are, and for that world to exist as much as our world does.
Cool. Excellent. We are out of time. Thank you so much, Tom. This was awesome talking to you.
Dude, what a pleasure. And thank you, IGN, and thank you for the readers for being so nice to me. It means everything to me.
Yeah, Tom King, everybody. For more on everything Tom King's doing and Batman and everything here at Comic-Con.
Oh my God, I wore a Batman shirt. That's so nerdy.
On IGN.
Oh.